Hello everyone and welcome to my expert mode guide for the boss Eye of Cthulhu. This video will focus on not just beating him in expert mode, but beating him in expert mode with certain weapons. Because they're different types of damage, it means different classes. So if you're a warrior or a melee user, Ice Blade or Enchanted Sword, obviously you should use the Enchanted Sword if you can. But if you can't find one, just use an Ice Blade. If you're going to be a ranger, gold bow or better is definitely the minimum. Diamond staff or ruby staff, depending on whether you have platinum or gold in your world, will be for mages. If you're a thrower, spiky balls can help, grenades, javelins, and yeah, that should work. So, also just use arrows for the ranger. Swiftness potion, healing potion, which is just one off of the normal lesser healing potion, cooked fish, iron skin potion, regen potions. A lead set is what I have here. I recommend better, but I'm just showing you here with lead that I can do it with lead. Hermes boots are a must. A shackle of some kind, I have guarding. A band of regeneration. White string with a good modifier on it, and a cloud in a bottle. You can also see I have a campfire placed, a heart lamp, and I have 2 sunflowers. Okay, so we're gonna start with the melee set. So I'm gonna summon in the eye, put my buff on, and at the very beginning, he's really easy at the very beginning. So all you need to do is just shoot your Ice Blade beam or your Enchanted Sword beam at him, and you'll be good. Also, you may note that I do have a grappling hook. This is important for all, and I forgot to mention it before, because you can have larger space between the platforms. Plus, the speed that you get when you grapple onto something is very quick. So, that's really good for dodging. Especially for the second phase, in which he's ridiculously quick after 1800 health. Anyway, let's speed this up. Also to note, while you're moving around with the Eye of Cthulhu, you have to aim a little bit in the direction you're moving in order to easily hit him. Otherwise, all your shots are going to pretty much miss him. So you see I'm aiming to the right and I hit him there. You have to aim properly. And you can't just have your cursor on him all the time, because while you're moving, that's not going to hit him. Okay, so we just went into second phase, and he's changed his attack and defense stats, and he goes a little bit faster, but nothing too hard. This guy seems like he'd be pretty easy, but it's when he gets to 1800 health that he's a really huge problem for most people. And I know it was especially a problem for me when I first tried facing him. Okay, so alright, so I think we just hit it, yeah. Okay, so right now he's gonna do that. So he's gonna start charging at extreme speed. In which that case, what you can do is when he's under you, you can use the cloud in a bottle to kind of jump over him. Which is a good idea. Of course, when he's coming upward, that's not really a good idea, because he's just going to come straight down on top of you, which isn't going to help any. So you know that he goes in a zigzag pattern every time he does that. He has to go from up to down, and he usually doesn't do it any other way. Even though he can, he usually doesn't. low. I might not even have to heal here, which means you could probably remove the heart lantern, and with those healing potions you could probably easily beat him. And there we go, we beat him. So as you can see, I did need to use a healing potion at the end, but that's okay. And we got the trophy. Wow, nice. So, there you go. There's the melee, and of course, with better armor and the enchanted sword, that would have been an easy peasy fight. Okay, now it's time for the ranger set. So, we're going to be using the gold bow with jester arrows. So, let's get rid of those so that we don't accidentally use them. And some of the Eye of Cthulhu. Okay, so the reason why we're using jester arrows is because they go on forever, they do a lot of damage, and they are piercing, which means unlike the beams from the ice sword and from the enchanted sword, they will go through the servants of Cthulhu and actually hit the boss, which is really, really good. Forgot to buff. Alright, so let's speed this up. Now, obviously, you might not have enough jester arrows to last you the whole fight, which means in that case you'll want to get some frostburn arrows. They're actually better than flaming arrows, even though they're not as good as jester. They also do not pierce, so that's why you will want jester. Okay, so he's switching into the second phase, which means, again, he has higher attack, lower defense, and he goes a little bit faster. Alright, so now that he's below 1800 health, he's starting to do the crazy dash. Now, it becomes predictable after you face him enough, but as your first time, it can be hard to learn exactly how he moves. But if you know, he moves kind of in a zigzag-like pattern, which is very useful to know, because it means you know that when he's on the bottom, he's going to go up. And obviously, if he went up and he's only at your level, you know he's going to come towards you and slightly downward, like that. So you can easily know what his movement's going to be then, if you think about it. Also, when you're facing this boss, do not panic. That's the worst thing you can do. If you panic, basically what's going to happen is you're just going to get wrecked. And you'll think the boss is impossible on expert mode, blah blah blah. You get the idea. Okay, so in this last part, he's just going to pretty much do this endlessly until either you're dead or until he's dead. So you want to carefully aim. Because the jester arrows are very fast, you can easily hit him if you just click at where he is, as you can see. And there we go, we beat him again. Wow, we got another Eye of Cthulhu trophy. Nice. Okay, so now it's time for the mana version. Now, with the mana version, it's a little bit more tricky. Mainly because you need mana, which will take mana crystals, and might take you a while to find. But 100, or even if you can get 120, 100 should work. And you'll want some mana potions. Normal mana potions will be the best. And so there you go. I'm going to be facing him with the ruby staff because it's the less damaging one. That way you know it's possible. And let's start that fight, shall we? Okay. Buff and... So the ruby staff is piercing, and I believe the diamond staff is also piercing. And so that means, like the ranger version, it's going to go through the servants of Cthulhu, which means this is going to be fairly easy. Honestly, the hardest would be if you were doing throwing or if you were doing melee. Either one of those two is the hardest. Throwing would definitely be hardest, especially on expert mode. One thing to note is that when you kill the servants of Cthulhu, they will often drop stars for you, which is useful because that way you don't have to use potions, and then that way you don't get the mana damage debuff. So we're getting really close. Yeah, okay. So we're on this second phase. Like all others, higher attack, lower defense, and he goes faster, as I mentioned. And pretty soon here, when he gets to 1800 health, he's gonna start doing that. Okay. So during that, it's very useful to use your cloud in a bottle, or if you're good at it, you can do good grapple jumps, which is ideally what you want to do. You'll also notice that he goes in a zigzag pattern when he does that, which means you can easily know which direction he's going to go, because if he went up, he's going to go down, and if he went down, he's definitely going to go up. Lastly, make sure that you fill up your mana, because you're not going to be doing very well if you don't. And, like I said in the Ranger, do not panic. If you just panic by jumping everywhere, he is going to hit you a lot more than you think he would. Panicking makes it way worse. So, pretty soon here, he's going to be dead. Okay, and then he starts doing this square pattern, which can be very, very confusing because that's not what he normally does, and it's so that he easily hits you. But, as you can see, I just hit him. So there you go. That's how you can beat the Eye of Cthulhu in expert mode with different classes. And of course, let's open those treasure bags. Okay, nothing too out of the ordinary, but that's cool. The Shield of Cthulhu is a very useful weapon, and it's also a very good accessory. Anyways, guys, that's about it for now. So stay tuned. I'm gonna be uploading the second episode of my Let's Play soon. I hope you enjoyed this boss guide, and I'll see you guys next time. See ya.